You probably know someone who lives on the coast. In fact, you probably are someone who lives on the coast. Over 40% of Americans do, despite coastal areas only covering 10% of US land mass. Cities like New York and San Diego are as iconic as they are inhabited, fueled by booming industries that depend on ocean ecosystems. However, global climate change continues to threaten these ecosystems in ways many of us don't even know about. So today, let's talk about ocean acidification and how it affects you. So what is ocean acidification? Human activities continue to release record amounts of CO2 into the atmosphere, driving climate change. You may imagine CO2 as a gas that just hangs around in the atmosphere, making the planet warmer, and while it certainly does that, a lot of it is absorbed by Earth's oceans. It diffuses into and out of the ocean just like carbonation in a drink. And much like in soda, this reaction produces carbonic acid, which is the same stuff that dissolves tooth enamel. As more CO2 enters the atmosphere, more of it gets stored in the ocean, making a more and more acidic environment. This impacts carbonate-based sea life like shellfish and corals, whose shells and exoskeletons literally dissolve in acidic seawater. It can destroy habitats, topple food chains, and threaten ecosystems that coastal areas rely on. You might think these circumstances sound extreme, and that there's no way ocean acidification could threaten entire species. However, you couldn't be further from the truth. The largest mass extinction in Earth's history was largely due to acidification, with over 95% of marine species dying off. 251 million years ago, the Permian extinction, also known as the Great Dying, was a period defined by extreme conditions. Supervolcanoes in modern-day Siberia spewed out massive amounts of CO2 over millions of years, heavily acidifying the ocean and eroding the shells of carbonate-based sea life. With shellfish dead, food chains toppled, leaving ancient seafloors littered with corpses. This grim era in Earth's past sets the stage for modern-day acidification. While not as extreme as Siberian supervolcanoes, human-caused CO2 emissions have already caused widespread damage to marine life. According to an article published by NOAA, oyster catch rates are down worldwide, with larvae not able to reach maturity due to increasingly worse seawater conditions. Scientists fear this will send ripples up the food chain, affecting every kind of fishing industry. Acidification directly threatens coastal communities and the people in them, whether it's their economy, food source, or culture. So what can we do? The most effective way to combat ocean acidification is reducing our CO2 emissions by acting on climate change. We must push for the transition to clean energy, both in our elections and through personal advocacy. Supporting environmentally conscious candidates in both local and national elections is one of our most effective solutions. Donating to an NGO that funds research into ocean acidification, such as the Ocean Foundation, is another effective way we can help protect our coastal communities. One final way that we can combat acidification is through education, which is why I encourage you to share this video with anyone who lives near the coast. Ocean acidification is one of the most pressing environmental issues affecting coastal communities today. Human activities continue to cause record CO2 emissions, threatening our food sources, our livelihood, and our culture. By educating ourselves and advocating for green policies, we can not only protect our coasts and the people who live on them, but also waterways around the world. Together, we can limit CO2 emissions and hold producers accountable, protecting our oceans for decades to come. Thank you for watching.